about the gifts and benefits register. Okay, again, smack out of the supervision guidelines. Let's talk about that. So we all know that the supervision guidelines tells us that every agency needs to have a gifts and benefits register. Well, what is a gift or what is a benefit? Is it, I think it's pretty clear that it's not a gift of thanks that is given to you as an agent when you are under an agency agreement. So if you're selling somebody's property, you have an agency agreement with the vendor. If you are a buyer's agent, you have an agency agreement with the buyer. If you are managing somebody's property, you have a management agency agreement with your landlord. Okay, so if they give you a gift of thanks for that, thank you. Whether that's $20 worth, $59 worth, or $62 worth, it doesn't matter. Okay, should you put it in your gifts and benefits register? Well, you don't need to, because it's not about the fact that you're getting a gift. It's not really about the fact how much that gift is worth. It's about whether there is a real or even a perceived conflict of interest through you receiving that and accepting that gift. Okay, so it's not about if it's under an agency agreement. So where is this perception or the reality of whether it's a conflict of interest or not? Let's take a really simple example. Let's look at a buyer gives you a gift prior to the exchange of a property, thanking you for your involvement in assisting them in getting a property. Well, one, you haven't got a property for them yet because it hasn't gone to exchange. Could it be perceived, or is it in reality a gift getting you to act in their best interest to make sure that you get them over the line as the interested party, as the one who is going to purchase that property? Same example could be used for a tenant looking for a prospective tenant looking for a new property to lease. So it's timing here. Is that before the lease is signed or before a contract is exchanged? Yeah, there's probably quite a real, and if it's not real, then there's certainly a perceived conflict of interest here. Should you accept that gift? I would suggest not. Okay, so one, it wouldn't go into your gifts and benefits register, or maybe that you tell the person, I can't accept this because you're acting on behalf of the landlord, you're acting on behalf of the vendor, and there is a conflict in you taking that gift. Now let's look at the timing. The gift is given after the tenant has signed the lease, or after the purchaser has signed the contract and that they've settled and they've moved in. You would still put it in your gifts and benefits register, and you would make the comment that no, this is not a conflict of interest because it is after the time. It is not influencing you to behave in any way. It was a gift of thanks for that particular reason. Okay, so it's about, on that particular issue, it's about the timing. What about, we're getting, a lot of agents are being given gift vouchers or straight money, or in terms of from stylists or solicitors or accountants or financial planners, but particularly stylists at the moment. And that's a question we always get asked. Now, who's paying the stylist would be my first question if somebody were to ask me a specific question on this. And I would say, if you as the agency are paying for this to get a sale across the line, then, and you're taking it out of your own pocket for the agency, or out of your commission, or however you're doing that, as it's your cost, then it's I'd still be putting it in my gifts and benefits register, but you would be saying it's not a conflict because it's not being paid for. You're paying for it personally, or the agency is paying for it. However, if it is the work is being done by the stylist and it's being paid for by the vendor or the landlord, but it's usually a vendor in a sale for a sale property when you're styling a property. One, you should have been putting it into the rebates, discounts, commission section of your agency agreement with the vendor, saying that there's a commission or a rebate or some benefit you are obtaining from that. And yes, it absolutely needs to go into your gifts and benefits register. Is it a conflict of interest? Is it not a conflict of interest? Well, it depends on how many stylists are you recommending. Same thing, how many solicitors or conveyancers or financial planners are you recommending? If it's more than one, saying, well, it's not a conflict of interest because I'm suggesting 3 or 4 people, and that's not changing, even though one of them has given us a Christmas hamper worth a couple of $100. You know, so whatever it happens to be, it doesn't take much to get it over $60. You know, and so, you know, it's really important to make sure that you are filling in that gifts and benefits register. It's the last column that's important about whether there is a real or a perceived conflict of interest. And the words you put in there and your reasoning for that is what becomes actually really important.